Good morning and welcome to day 4 of the Yoga Corona Challenge. Please remember to subscribe just about down here, the little logo, to make sure you get updates of videos. Check my website because it's got the quiz on it if you've not managed to do that yet. And make sure you've got a mat if you're working at home. Check health conditions, all these things. You'll be with the programme by now, won't you? Here's our update of the day. So, rather worryingly, we've gone up 1,000 cases over in 24 hours, so still rising quite significantly. We've obviously not quite done enough yet, so encouraging everyone to stay home. I'm sure you are doing, and that's why you're doing yoga, so mixed benefits. So if you want to start by coming onto your mat or coming to sitting, and we're just going to have our feet out in front, and then you're going to roll yourself back so that you're lying onto the ground or onto your bed with the knees just lightly soft, and then you're going to bring one knee up and towards you, so you're just going to draw it in towards your chest. You're going to take that knee away, and then other knee is going to come in. Same thing, just draw your knee closely up and towards you. And then let your leg come down. Just going to do this at a slightly different angle so you can see more easily. And then from here you're going to be rocking your knees in towards you and away from you. So you're doing that nice smooth movement, so you're rolling through the back of the spine as your knees come back and forth. If you're on a bed, this is going to be a little bit squidgy, so you won't get quite the same feeling. It's nicer on a floor, but go with where you need to be. So just nice rocking in and out. And then what you're going to focus in on is the movement of your tummy. So that as your knees come in, the tummy scoots back slightly and the pelvic floor lifts. Knees come away and you release. Again, knees come in, pelvic floor lifts, tummy scoots back towards the floor. And release. And you can do this just a tiny little bit so it's very subtle. Or you can really strongly work with that scooping back sensation. Remember that it's very important the pelvic floor is working at the same time as the tummy, so we're strengthening both areas. The next time that your knees come in, just squeeze them nice and closely in towards you, and you're bringing your knees as close in as is comfortable towards your chest, so that your tailbone will probably lift just a little bit. And then let your legs settle down and onto the floor or bed. You're going to let one leg lift up, so you're just going to get a feeling of a little bit of length through the back of your leg. You're going to choose, do you want to take your hands onto your thigh, onto your calf, and you're just going to draw your leg in towards you. Very important that the hip on the same side as the lifted leg is coming down towards the floor, so it's not lifting up. We're not doing this. Hips are down. Hips are really steady down, leg is drawing in, shoulders are relaxed. Just enjoy that ideally you want to stretch through the thigh, back of the thigh, back of the knee, back of the calf, into the sole of the foot as well. So we're looking for that whole back of the leg to get a nice lengthening out. And then bring that leg down and come to the other side. So the other leg is going to lift up. Start with just getting that feeling of lengthening through the leg. Then thinking about where or if you want to take your hands onto your leg, and if you do, just drawing it in towards you. So soften through the shoulders so that we really are making sure that we're quite focused that the work that we're doing is through the leg and through drawing down through the hip on the lifted leg side. You can make your toes just a little bit alive, a little bit alert, so that this leg has got a feeling of life and energy coming all the way through it. All the way through it and out through the toes as well, if you want to imagine that. Make sure that your breathing is steady so that if there's any little catches in your breath, that you come back to really noticing how to smooth it out and adjust. So do check out my breathing video on how to adapt if you're finding your breathing is any way challenged by doing this. And then bring your leg back onto the floor so both feet are settled down and comfortable. You're going to let your hands come up and overhead, and it might be there close in towards your head, might be a little bit further away, might be extended out. very much dependent on what suits your shoulders. Think about the shoulders being wide onto the floor, so it might be that you need your elbows wide so that you can get that feeling of space across the back of the shoulders. So from here, the heels are more or less underneath the knees, and you're just going to press through your feet, and you're just going to skim your hips off the floor, off the bed. You're going to lift one hip and then the other. So we're just doing a little bit of rocking from one side to the other side. And then bring your hips to the centre, slide them back down to the ground. So that was just like a little warm-up version of bridge. We're going to come more up into it if it suits your body today. Pressing down through the feet, you're going to lift up with your hips so that your hips come more or less in line between your knees and your shoulders. So the hips can be lower down if it's better for your body or better for your breathing, or you can get that feeling of a little bit of lengthening up so that we get that long feeling through the front of the body. You need to get a feeling of support through the legs and a little bit of activity through the feet. So put attention into the balls of your feet, the outsides of your feet, and the heels will undoubtedly be making good contact without needing to put any attention into them. So breathe steady and evenly. Just enjoy being here. And then slide your hips down and onto your mat or onto the floor again. Take your knees up and over your chest. Squeeze your knees in, lengthen out through the lower spine. And then if you bring yourself round and into all fours. So from a nice comfortable all fours position, we're going to do a little bit of work with cat. You can do this sitting in your bed, just doing the spinal movement if you want to. So you're going to be arching the back up towards the ceiling, making space through the back of the body. Lengthening out, looking between your hands or slightly beyond. Going back and forth with your rhythm of breathing. So feeling like you can make a little bit of space between each vertebrae as the waist comes up towards the ceiling or towards the back of your bed. Also thinking about the lift up through the pelvic floor and up through the tummy. So we can get that kind of rolling feeling coming up through the tummy and towards the diaphragm. And then let yourself come to a nice neutral position, so nice and even. We're going to come up to standing forward bend now, so if you just walk your feet in towards the floor, bend through your knees, soften through the back of the legs, start to lift up through the pelvic floor, drop strongly up through the pelvic floor and the tummy so that we start to lift up from the very centre of our being and then coming all the way up into standing. So from standing, if you just bring yourself so that you can let your hands settle onto your hips, and you're going to take a nice little easy movement through the hips, so swaying the hips from one side to the other side. And then back to the centre, let your shoulders roll out a couple of times. And then we're going to do a balance pose from here. So if you want to take one foot, take a nice big step along your mat, back heel is going to lift. You're going to let your hands come out in front, shoulders release down. From here, you're going to imagine a friend, somebody really nice, has taken hold of your hands and they're just gently drawing your hands towards them. So the back foot will just gently lift up. And then bring yourself back to standing. And we're going to do the opposite side. So a nice step forward with one foot, heel, back heel lift. So we've got alertness through the back foot. So if I move my foot like that, you can see that feeling of aliveness. You're going to let your hands come out in front, shoulders release down. Think your friend is just gently drawing you towards them so that your back leg just naturally lifts. And then bring yourself back and to standing. We're going to have the option of making that a little bit deeper if you would like to. So again, we're going to start the same way, step that foot forward, back heel is lifted, front knee slightly soft. Hands come out in front. If if you're doing this in bed, just do the hands and get the feeling that you can float one leg off the floor. You're going to let your hands come up and forwards. This time imagine a slightly deeper feeling of stretch, so you're lengthening your hands forwards and the back leg stays active, stays strong so that you can be here. Bend through your front knee, back foot finds the floor, hands come up and overhead, so we find warrior one, and bringing yourself back to standing. So the one we're doing where we're lengthening out, it's warrior 3, or Virabhadrasana 3, to give its very official and fancy name. So other foot is going to step in front, nice big step, back heel lefts. Of course it can be a tiny little step if it's better for you. So do stay with the first version if necessary. Hands are going to come out in front. Imagine somebody just drawing your hands forward and then back leg lift. So it's like a counterbalance, so the shoulders coming forwards, back leg lifting up. So keep lengthening out, keep steady, gently active in hands and fingers. And bend through the front knee, hands come up to warrior 1. Stepping yourself back to both feet even, both feet steady. So just take a moment to settle into the back of your waist. So if you imagine when you're standing, often we will stand with the weight coming slightly into the balls of the feet and the back arching a little bit this way. So you can see my centre of gravity has come forwards. Really helpful to just subtly imagine your weight's coming into the back of your heels, which means that the front of the tummy, the kind of core tummy, has to kind of lift up a little bit, but also the back of the waist widens. So we get a wide across the back of the body feeling, and then the balls of the feet will get a little bit stronger on the floor, which will start to make you a little bit more active up through your legs. All these fun things to think about if you're doing yoga, isn't it? And then from here we're going to come down to sitting. So if you want to just bring yourself down, and do take a mat if you, a block or some books if you would like to. And I'm just going to use my block to put my computer on, because I didn't do that earlier. So from here, we're going to come into a tailor twist today. So you're going to take the soles of your feet together. So you're going to, it can be that the feet are very far apart, far away from you, and the toes come away from each other. So particularly if you're looking for softer version, it can be the knees coming towards you a little bit, can be that the knees come in quite a bit. Whatever you do, make sure that you've got a feeling that the outside of your legs is still supporting the inside of your legs. This isn't about kind of fall into it flexibility. It's about flexibility with some level of support and strength. So just make sure that you've got both sides of your legs working. You're going to have both hands onto your feet, and you're going to ease yourself forwards a little bit. So I'm just walking myself from one side to the other side because it makes me feel more comfortable as I come forwards. So just a little movement forwards and then bringing yourself up. One hand can rest onto your feet or onto your leg if your legs are further away. You're going to start to spiral round with the rib cage, round with the shoulders, and gently, 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 smoothly, the head can come round as well if you would like. Bring yourself back to the centre, and then to the opposite side. Same thing, nice smooth movement. Hands are both relaxed and soft. The strong feeling in the body is through the centre, through the rib cage, through the waist. And bringing yourself back to the centre. And now you're just going to fold yourself forwards over both legs. So just nice soft easing forward so that the head is coming down. Back of the body is relaxing, and it feels almost as if you can let the body slide to the sides, and also from the waist to the head and to the tailbone. So we've got two-way stretch or release coming across the back. And then walking your hands in and up and onto your legs. And if you bring your legs out in front. So slightly longer session today. I've obviously regained some of my energy, but I must keep them short because they take ages to upload. I hope you've enjoyed it today. Please feel free to share this with anyone else who you think would benefit from some daily yoga to
to inspire and kind of challenge their day so that they're using their time wonderfully, since we're all locked in, and some of us, like myself, very locked in, although I'm still getting out to the garden, so I've still got my sanity. And just a thought today, I can see that cases are increasing massively, and I think people's anxiety levels will beginning to ratchet up another notch again. So just be really, really kind to yourself today, and really try to come back to that place where actually this moment is fine. This moment is fine. So that we can acknowledge some of the stuff that's going on in the world and some of the troubles that we can see outside and the things that we can predict and feel a little bit anxious about. But then we come back, just like in yoga, not so much out into the ribcage, back into the soft, into the back ways, back into, and just now is okay. And just now I'm fine. And just now my family are fine. Just all is well. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely day.